You can see here behind me that police are in front of the home and they have part of this block roped off with caution tape. They tell us that this call about the home invasion came in just before the call about those two teenagers who were shot.
Patrick Johnson is charged with capital murder in the shooting death of Officer Kerry Hollis last year. It did hit a house right behind me, but I want to direct your attention over. Just about 10 minutes ago, Alabama power crews arrived here in this neighborhood. And
Cameron Village for the last few days has looked more like a river or a lake compared to what it should be, a subdivision.
If you take a look up, you can see why those flames chewed through that apartment building, leaving many of those families without anything.
Let me show you what's happening. I'm actually on a tractor trailer, and this is going through the community of Neck. This is on First Neck Road. Now,
these apartments are on 3rd Avenue, actually next to Regents Field, and many students live here. Ebony, I'm standing in the backyard of this house, and you're actually taking a look through what used to be the front window. The fire left this house a mangled, crisp mess.
The way that this roof is contorted indicates that the fire started somewhere on the front porch, and they say that's where they believe the culprit of this fire was already burning.
The suspect broke into his restaurant to get inside this vending machine. He says 2 years ago, someone else broke inside, took cigarettes and $30.
And whether in 2016 or 1967, that part of the game has never changed.
You can see winds uprooted this huge tree. Now it cut right through the house, but it missed that room on the left.
With cracked basketball courts and empty jungle gyms, Barker Park is just one of many in the city of Birmingham in need of repair. And with $10 million in their pocket, the city of Birmingham hopes to be able to fix it. Tim Pfeiffer says he has been working in excavation for 15 years.
I've had some stuff go wrong, but not like this.
After two failed attempts to bring down the Avondale Mills smokestack in front of an eager audience, Tim Pfeiffer took matters into his own hands.
They can't go forward as long as that thing's standing up because it wasn't structurally sound anymore.
After more than an hour inside an excavator, Pfeiffer was able to bring down the century-old tower. That's when the demolition almost turned deadly. Despite applause from the crowd, Pfeiffer's daughter, Allie, feared the worst. That's her you see running across the bottom of the screen.
I remember being halfway across the field, just looking at him and just like, I had to stop and I was like, I don't know if he made it and I can't make it that much closer.
Pfeiffer walked out with nothing more than a few scratches, in part, he believes, because of a split-second decision.
Stay in the hole. The cab is made for that thing to turn over on top of it. You know, and I was safer inside the cab than coming out of it.
His daughter says she plans to make sure her dad has many safer years ahead of him.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bring 2 hard hats for him and be like, come on, Dad. Like, I might wrap him up in bubble wrap next time.
In Pell City, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.
Day 5 of flooding looks a lot like the other 4 days, but the people of Johnsonville are noticing something different. Car after car submerged.
It was swooping in, the water.
One is a Mustang taken away by 2 inches of water. Patricia Evans loved to drive.
And we was trying to get out, get all the, our family out of the home. And when we drove out, the water moved the car over and it went into the ditch.
Evans has lived in the Neck 38 years. She and her neighbors are stuck, thinking about what's standing between them and their homes. Paul Miles needs a boat to float through the community he's called home more than 3 decades. The last 5 days,
in all reality, it's been a nightmare.
A nightmare no one seems to wake up from.
Floods happen, but I've never had floodwaters come to where I've had to leave my house. I've never had floodwaters come this fast.
Fast is almost an understatement. As Miles sails through his neighborhood, dogs are in need, friends are trapped in homes. He remembers going to bed one day with no water around and waking up the next, seeing water everywhere.
It's heartbreaking. And then whenever you look around and you look at the news and everybody's worried about, nobody's here. I mean, I know everybody else has got the same problems we're going through.
Bullet holes and broken windows tell the story of what appears to be a random shooting. Surveillance cameras from the Jet Pep gas station in Brooksville capture the moment as a man runs inside for cover, urging anyone to call 911.
And hit.
3 people were injured. Deanna Morgan will never forget her first day at her new job. What were you expecting when you came into work today?
Not this.
After the shooting stopped, one woman injured during the gunfire ran inside. The owner of the store, Raj Patel, was the first to see her.
She was just so scared about it, you know, because she got shot in the chest.
I walk over there, we gave her paper towels, and I just seen blood everywhere. I didn't know where she was bleeding at.
About 45 minutes later, the chase with law enforcement brought the shooter right back past the gas station.
The next thing I know, the cops were chasing him down, got him, and then I heard he was dead.
The chase ended less than 1 mile from the station. Morgan plans to be back at work Wednesday.
No, I'm not going to quit because it could happen anywhere.
In Brooksville, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.
Take me out to the ball game.
Baseball is America's favorite pastime.
Take me out to the crowd.
But some things have changed in the last 50 years. After all, when was the last time you saw an umpire wearing a bow tie? America's oldest baseball stadium has changed too. Ask Hall of Fame pitcher and Birmingham A's vet Raleigh Fingers.
Time's better than it did when I played here. You know, the grass is a lot nicer. I think the field kind of sets a little bit higher too. I remember it being a lot flatter. I remember the distance between home plate and the backstop was a long way, so if you threw a pass ball, the catchers were a little upset because they had to run all the way back to get it.
The Bear Creek baseball team traveled from Marion County to see today's game. It was their first visit to Rickwood Field. Chris Hyde says seeing this game on this field is something he and his son will never forget.
Every time we go anywhere with the baseball team, they bring the whole family. You know, it's just a family sport, and I wouldn't take anything for it.
And whether in 2016 or 1967, that part of the game has never changed. Don Heinkel pitched for the Barons' 1983 Southern League Championship team. Baseball was this Wisconsin native's life until he came to Birmingham.
My teammate and I found our wives here in Birmingham. We got the yellow pages out, said a little prayer. Let's go to this place. We fell in love with the pastor's daughters, ended up marrying them down the road.
Today, Heinkel brought his family back to see where it all began. From Rickwood Field, Stephen Quinn, ABC 3340.